This is Countdown to Economic Collapse, September 11th, 2011, the 10-year anniversary of the World Trade Center attack. Hello, I'm David John Sponheim, and I'm running for president in 2012. The goal of our party at America's Third Party is to expose the truth. The truth is everything. And right now we haven't seen the truth coming out of the government. We've seen a lot of propaganda, a lot of molding of issues. The media has been locking out various freedom fighters, patriots, truthers, from even getting the word out on this fateful day of 9/11. Well, I'm here to tell you that I think that Osama bin Laden was not the lone mind behind the attack on September 11th. I'm here because I have questions, and I would like to invite all the people who have questions about the World Trade Center to join America's Third Party. The idea that Osama bin Laden was the person behind this action against our country is not based in any way on facts. His documentary tape from 2001 shows that he didn't admit to doing the attacks. He merely approved of them. And you'll see that in this footage right now.
بأبناء الأقصى أسامة بن لادن ينفذ ضربات ضد الأمريكان. فقلت حق الشيخ كان المجلس يمكن فيه حول 50-60 سنة. فقال لي خلاص بدأنا نعلمك قبل الهجوم والله قبل
ما كان يعرف عن
لا
تعرف انه يعمل يقتل الناس
صحيح سبحان الله.
هو الأسرة المصرية محمد عطا الله يرحمه كان مسؤول.
بعدين كيف شلت عقول هؤلاء الله ياخذهم ثلث ساعة تقريبا يعني 20 دقيقة 13 دقيقة.
الأولى والبنت ساعة.
ساعة.
وبعد اللي تقول صار استنفار بحري وجوي وهذاك راح تحت الأرض وهذاك راح المخبأ.
يعني فعلا ترى وصلوا في ذعر يا شيخ وخوف. توقعوا فعلا انقلاب يعني ويأتي هؤلاء الناس يحكمون وكانوا بشيء.
They reached a certain level of horror and fright. They truly expected a coup. I mean, and that these people would govern them. What did they mean? These people would govern them. Now, moving beyond who committed this heinous act against nearly 3,000 people in this country, who was the person or who was the group that did it, really is beyond the scope of our government right now. And the whole attack on Osama bin Laden, as you know, I think the May 1st attack on Abbottabad was made up. It's clearly a cover-up of some sort. And there's all kinds of inconsistencies in the story. Not to mention the fact that there's no photo of Osama bin Laden or a picture of his dead body being thrown over the Carl Vinson. You're telling me no one on the Carl Vinson had a video camera or a digital camera to take a picture of the body being thrown over? Come on. The American people are smarter than that. And we're not going to be lied to. And if those Navy SEALs from Team 6 actually knew more than they should have known and were willing to talk, God help us if something happened to them in Afghanistan because of that. Our country is plagued with tremendous amount of corruption right now. The SEC, the FDIC, they're all not doing their job. In fact, the FDIC has over 1,200 properties right now up for sale, open to the highest bidder, and that could include anyone from a foreign country, like national Chinese people could be buying our properties right now. In fact, they are. The FDIC wants to unload tremendous amounts of property, and they don't care who they sell it to. The SEC, the Security and Exchange Commission, they aren't doing their job very well either. Take a look at what they're doing with Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. This is from the New York Times, September 8th, 2011. A settlement is said to be near for Fannie and Freddie Mac. The SEC, under the terms being discussed, would include no monetary penalty or admission of fraud. Now, it goes on to say that the action, however limited, may help refurbish the SEC's reputation as an aggressive regulator, particularly as the country struggles with the after effects of the financial crisis that the housing bubble fueled. But the potential settlement, even if it is little more than a rebuke, comes at an awkward time for Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. Last week, the government overseer of the two companies sued 17 large financial firms, blaming them for luring the mortgage giants into buying troubled loans. That is a similar accusation to the one the SEC is leveling against Fannie and Freddie, that the two entities misled their own investors. Okay, so as you can see, they're just basically slapping one hand like that. You know, there's a case where the right hand doesn't know what the left hand is doing. In this case, they both know what they're doing, and they're both lightly slapping each other's hand like that. It's like, oh, the SEC is saying, no, you shouldn't do that. Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, and Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae look good like they're trying to do something. No, that's not the case. The country is clearly still facing a mortgage debacle, unwinding, and we've got other issues that keep coming forth. What happened during 2008 was a common shock to the stock market. Our economy faced a lot of value defaulting at one specific time. And during that common shock, other companies like Lehman Brothers and AIG, Bear Stearns, they all went down, but only one truly went bankrupt. So a lot of them were kept up during that time period, like AIG, and we propped up too big to fail companies. Well, they're not too big to fail. They can still fail. In fact, our country has backed Citigroup to the tune of $7 trillion. That's right. We've covered them. We haven't given them the money, but we've covered that amount in case Citigroup decides to go down again. Which raises the important question. With everything happening, the college bubble, people unable to make their student loan payments, a jobs program that clearly isn't going to work, Barack Obama has proposed this past week. You know, he's proposing a jobs program where people who are currently working, like transportation workers and teachers, are going to get more jobs. Someone should wake up Barack Obama from this slumberous state that he's in playing basketball and golf and tell him, look it, the people that really need the jobs are not teachers and transportation workers. They're people that are displaced in the service sector, people who used to answer phones and do customer service, and all that's been jobbed out. Why haven't you removed outsourcing job tax credits, Barack Obama? That's the question American people want to know. Why is it that we still struggle with our jobs going overseas? And now our country is faced with yet another war, Libya. And we're hearing from Donald Rumsfeld that we need to increase spending. Well, we can't obviously increase spending when we need to cut $1.2 trillion from the budget by the end of the year. The Super Committee's responsibility is to do that. And if that doesn't happen, now I'm in favor of shrinking the military defense budget by as much as 50%. So I'm okay with cutting. Believe me, I want to cut even more. I envision $1 trillion off of our budget every year. But we don't even see a budget out of Obama. We don't even see a budget out of the Democratic Party. They're just hemming and hawing about the defense cuts, and we aren't getting to the real meat of the problem. The meat of the problem is we cannot be in wars due to our involvement with other nations and especially the World Bank and the IMF. Our position overseas should be a non-interventionist policy, which will shrink our budget for the military by as much as 50%, simply making a strategic change in the way we do all of our world operations. We can still maintain the advantage using air power, but we don't have to commit such money to the infrastructure. That's ridiculous. We're getting ripped off. So clearly a direction toward a balanced budget involves a change in strategy and a look toward jobs that actually make a difference. Now at America's Third Party, we've got a jobs plan that will build 3 to 5 million jobs in 4 years. We call it the Homestead Renewal Plan, where current homes that are foreclosed on, condemned, they'll be fixed up and renovated by people who need a job. And these jobs will be shovel-ready jobs. Everybody can paint walls. Everybody can lay landscaping and fix up houses. I urge everyone to consider getting behind this plan, and I mean voting for America's Third Party. That's one way to get behind a plan that'll help create millions of jobs. The other concept is a solar rooftop plan that America's Third Party has to put solar rooftops across the nation on houses. But right now, what I want you to do is think about what really is going on in your country. The two-party system clearly has failed. 50 years or more of them bickering about how to make spending cuts and not being able to cut anything but seeing enlarged government. And all this time not solving the problem with homelessness in America, plus the idea of creating jobs, doesn't even dawn on Barack Obama. He doesn't even believe that the government is responsible for creating jobs. So clearly the Democrats are missing the point too. You can't just throw money at something and expect it to get better. And both the Democrats and the Republicans have been complicit in that belief. I believe the other thing, that this country needs a return on investment to give you, the taxpayers, a break. And if you get behind America's Third Party and convince your friends and family that a third party is necessary, you will be doing more for this country than anyone currently in politics is doing for you. I'm David John Sponheim for America's Third Party, and I support this message.
Check us out at americasthirdparty.com.